you a second. It's starting right now.
Okay. All right.
Hi, this is Steve again from Triathlon Solutions with our final phase of recovery. And it's about an hour since I was in the real cold ocean water. And so I've had about a nice warm shower, slowly brought up the temperature of my body, and I did some of those slow dynamic stretches. A couple things that's been helpful to me, because once you are warm, you want to stay warm through the rest of the recovery effort. Even right after races, I'll put on long pants, socks, because I want to keep my lower body at the very least warm until my next effort. So what I have today is I have recovery socks, and these are really helpful because they compress real hard against the muscles. They feel really, really comfortable, and I really don't know why they work so well, but every time I have a hard workout on my Wednesdays, these are from DeSoto, by the way, on my Wednesdays or my Saturday workouts, right after workout, I'm like, oh my God, I can't run for 2 days. But usually the next day, after I've suited up like I am right now, I'm ready to go. It really speeds up the recovery. I wear 2-ply pants, which are very, very warm. They keep the heat in. And that's pretty much at a minimum. Also, you can wear fleece types, which have kind of a compression effect on the legs. So recovery, as you're going to learn, is everything. And I have a little descending proverb that I use when talking about recovery as an endurance athlete. It's, if you don't have to run, then walk. If you don't have to walk, then sit down. If you can sit down, why not put your feet up? Elevate your feet. If you can elevate your feet while you're sitting down, then why not lay down? If you can lay down and you're awake, then why can't you sleep? So that's always think about recovery. Recovery is where you're going to make your gains as an athlete. When you're in the store shopping, I don't care if you're just getting a box of Kleenex, don't hold it in your hand. Don't carry stuff in a shopping cart where you're imbalanced. Put that stuff in a basket, push it with both hands, keep your body balanced as much as you can. Carrying luggage, always stay balanced, those type of things. So recovery is everything. Again, we want to be eating raw foods. Raw foods, as we discussed earlier, have enzymes in them. All our processed and so-called health foods, energy bars, those types of things, they might not have good nutrients in them, but what processed foods don't have are enzymes. And enzymes are sort of they're sort of like a traffic cop, and they say, okay, vitamin A here, vitamin C here, vitamin D. It helps the body absorb the vitamins and minerals that food has in it. And foods that are cooked, foods that are not raw, do not have enzymes in them. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of those slow dynamic stretching using the body ball today. And first thing I'm going to do is, because for me I have a bad back, so I want to do stuff that helps out my lower back. So I want to, and again, dynamic stretching means we're going to move and sort of stimulate movements in our event. So I'm going to hold my hand, and I'll just do some slow twists. This feels really good on the back. Now, if we do static stretching, static is where we are going to hold the stretch for a certain count. So if maybe the camera can walk around, because I'm really, really stiff right now because I had a hard workout. But a simple static stretch can be holding a position. You can be holding a wall. And then we can rotate back. And rotate back. When we hold a stretch, and really in any athletic movement, we want to have full, complete breath. Okay? We want all that breath to come from the core. Why I like to do stuff on the body ball is not only does it activate different stretching of the body regions, but I'm also activating our core. And a strong core is highly important to athletes because all athletic movement starts in the core of the center of the body. Another back stretch I like to do is I open the feet up a little bit. And if you're standing, they call this in the exercise class the ragdoll, but I like to sit on the ball and I just let gravity take myself down. I can feel the hamstrings being activated and certainly the lower back being activated. And I just want to do full exhale. By the way, when I'm in my final phase of recovery, we talked about how hydration is highly, highly important. How do you know you're properly hydrated? Well, the best way for me is that my urine is clear. And before we started this video, that was one of the last things that I made sure because I want to set myself up for an optimal position. If you look on the BlackBerry logo, or if you can think of a clump of grapes, we want our body to be very, very hydrated. If it's not, it's going to be very viscous or thick, your blood. And the red blood cells are going to clump up. And when they're clumped up, maybe it makes sense that they can't be absorbed into capillaries because you have a traffic jam. But if you are hydrated, there is a negative charge in between each red blood cell, and it allows the blood cells to separate and be in a serial fashion, and thus they can get absorbed one at a time very fast into the capillaries, and then that brings healing and speeds up your recovery process. So moving on with more of the body ball. This one feels really good. Is just leaning over and arching the back. I can feel a stretch in my arms here. We can press down. And again, these movements aren't severe. It's just all the little points that are a little bit stiff. We're just sort of loosening them up because why we want to loosen up those areas is we want that blood flow to go in the capillaries. The red blood cells help us out in our muscle functioning. We have white blood cells and red blood cells. White blood cells help keep us essentially from getting sick, heal our wounds. They're sort of an immune type of defensive process. The red blood cells primarily help us out in muscle functioning. So in recovery, we want our muscles to get that nourishment that comes from eating good foods when we're in that recovery phase. Another, go ahead and stay back there, I'll lean back, but on the body ball we can just do slow back stretches. And this one feels really good. We can feel the erector spinae, our spine, almost vertebrae by vertebrae until you get to the full range. If you have good balance, if you're comfortable with the body ball, you can lift your hands up, bring them over, and now we activate the abdominal region. And this is a really, really good stretch. Okay, I'm going to